Welcome back to Lake Tahoe TV's Tahoe Today. Got Claire Fortier in the studio, and you are the city council candidate. And I think the biggest news is tomorrow is election day. This is when it all comes to fruition.
Absolutely, it's coming to a close. It really is, and it's been quite a campaign, quite a process. I think what's really fortunate for the South Lake Tahoe voters is there's some excellent candidates out there. We've brought up some wonderful points, some wonderful point of views, but also some myths, and I'd like to debunk a couple of myths, if I may.
You know what? I am so happy that you used the word debunk, because that's one of my favorite words. So continue.
So debunk on?
Continue. Yes, let's get our debunking on.
So as we debunk, one of the first things has been this whole pot collective, and this whole notion that the problem with compassionate care. I just want to quickly say that this is not an issue of marijuana, and it's not an issue of compassionate care. It is an issue of a big, unregulated industry essentially marching into our town. And that's the problem we have. It is about trying to control, trying to regulate that industry. I think those are the decisions that council needs to make, and make soon. Secondarily, the notion that we can just off the TRPA because council decides to set its own regulations. That simply isn't the case. If we don't want the TRPA here, we can do something about it. We can go to both the Nevada and California state legislatures and the Congress, even the President of the United States, and declare that this is no longer something that we want here. As long and arduous a process as that is probably not practical, but there is a practical way of containing, if you will, or at least having the guidelines of the TRPA put out there in a way that works for businesses and works for homeowners. And it's happening right now, and it's called the regional plan, and we need to be leaders of that regional plan. So those are a couple of myths I'd like to debunk, if I may. A couple of things that I'd like to point out as this all wraps up is while we have some excellent candidates running, I feel as if I offer something that many of them don't. First of all, I have been in town for 17 years. I am well informed on the issues. I was an editor of the Tahoe Tribune. I know the players. I know what is going on here, and I believe we are very close to making some big breakthroughs in this town. The question becomes, does the town have the will to change? Do we want to change? And when I'm talking about change, I'm not talking about putting high rises on every corner. I'm talking about looking at us as a first-class recreation destination. We need to focus on recreation. We need to focus on recreation becoming the lifeblood of South Lake. Now that does mean that we create facilities, hotel rooms, first-class hotel rooms in some parts of town, but it also means really looking at bike paths and having the will to change what we have right now, fixing our infrastructure. We need to change as a council. We need to change as a city. Rather than these backdoor kind of dealings, rather than the sense that the public never knows what's going on, our city government needs to be open and transparent. This is something that if we do not tackle now, it's just going to be more of the same and more of the same. There's this sense of frustration, I think, in people that the city just doesn't quite have it together, doesn't really have a plan. Well, I think we need to have a plan, and I think that plan needs to include 3 or 4 goals that we can attain immediately. One of those goals for me is to figure out how we can help businesses get through the horrendous process of government. Why we have these roadblocks, is a whole nother story, but they're there. How can the city change that? One of the ways I think we can is by having a small business city advisory committee. Tell us what the problems are, see where we can fix it. There's been this sense that I've gotten in talking to people that business owners are very, very dissatisfied with the lack of urgency on the part of city employees for their business. And so each and every day they feel like that costs money, and they're right, it does. So what can we do to change that? And then the other big myth as well as opportunity is the whole. You know, a lot of times people look at the hole and go, see, this is what's wrong with redevelopment. There's a big old hole and it looks horrible. Well, I'd like to propose that a couple of things about the hole.
Swimming pool.
There you are.
Swimming pool.
Skateboard park.
Yes, skateboard park, swimming pool.
I like it. Why didn't they think of that?
I don't know.
$40 million later, they still haven't put the water in. That's just wrong.
Exactly.
God. But it is an opportunity for us. First of all, the city is not losing money. It is making a little money. All the businesses that were displaced have been relocated, and there was not enough business to sustain them. What we do have now is whoever comes in is cents on the dollar to put a really cool structure there. Now, whether it's a first-class hotel or an alpine research center with green innovation, green business incubators, I don't know, but what a fantastic opportunity.
Absolutely.
So let's not see negative, let's see positive.
Exactly. So we're running a little short on time. If people want to get out there, vote for you, I know tomorrow's the big day.
It is.
How can they get more information?
Fortier, the number 4, Tahoe.org. But please, this is critical for our city and for you and for your kids' future. Get out and vote. Thanks.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Claire, thank you for taking
Appreciate
the time to
it.
join us. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Make sure you get out and vote. Fortier, for Tahoe.org is the website. We'll be right back with more of Lake Tahoe TV's Tahoe Today.